With luxury prices skyrocketing, the real question is, does the new Navigator justify its price tag? Today, I'm breaking down everything, the exterior, the interior, and whether this is the luxury SUV you should actually buy. We're gonna put the pedal to the metal, and honestly, I wasn't ready for how good this thing looks in person. The new Lincoln Navigator might just have the cleanest, boldest, and most unexpectedly premium design of any American luxury SUV right now. Now let me show you as we put the pedal to the metal and see how this stacks up against the competition.
All right, now let's start it up. This is what you're gonna experience. If you own one of these, you hear the engine, you hear the exhaust. You don't hear the engine whatsoever. And let's see what we're comparing this to. The right ahead, it's the Cadillac dealership. And I did test drive the Cadillac on a road course. Sounds great, but that is a lot of body roll. Now for the Lincoln acceleration test. Let's see how much body roll we get here. V6 still sounds good. Not as good as the V8, but a lot less body roll. And it was more boaty, felt more like a truck, more swing in the curbs, much more body roll. Much more V8 feel, V8 growl. You feel the engine underneath your feet, the engine and transmission underneath your feet. This is more refined, laminated front windows, laminated second row windows, so great at cutting out the sound in the city. Great. Top-notch turning radius. That's a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 on the turning radius. And yes, we just got gas, and this is really impressive. Listen to this. 440 horsepower. 510 pound-feet of torque, and you'd think it's going to need premium gas, like pretty much every high-powered German vehicle. But that's not so wunderbar. You know, the Porsche 911 requires 93 octane, for example, and that's just common, needing super gas, expensive gas when you're getting a European vehicle. And this is just regular gas, a whole lot of power on regular gas. I'd say that is a good job, Ford. You programmed and tuned the vehicle the way it should be. It shouldn't cost a small fortune to go to the gas station, so you can run it on 87 octane. Very impressed with that. And that 87 octane is still gonna get you 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.1 seconds. And it's gonna get you a quarter mile in 13.7 seconds. In the 1980s, that would have been supercar or exotic car. It's pretty bad. And I'm gonna be going out of my way to get the holes in the road, the manholes. Such a weird word. Let's take all the manholes here, drive over them all. And while you can see the hood of the vehicle moving and swaying, I'm in perfect comfort in the seat. We can hear the suspension, very, very low tire noise. The vehicle is very well. I'm not hearing the vehicles outside the Navigator. So it is quieter than an Expedition. It is quieter than a Cadillac Escalade. Big one here. And it takes all the bumps very well, the cracks, manholes. It's gonna get you through city driving very comfortably. The brakes, good. Acceleration, way more acceleration than you should ever need in a family vehicle, but boy, is it ever expensive to have a big family these days, because even if you go with a Yukon or an Expedition, you're still paying top dollar to have those extra seats. Even an Explorer, it starts basically a decent Explorer is 55,000 Canadian. It's a good chunk of change. But I'm getting a lot of power. I'm getting a lot of comfort. This can be your sports, ultra sport SUV, high comfort, high power, high quality. Love the wood, love the 48-inch screen. And it's not just a big screen to have you go wow and then be completely useless. I like the fact that it shows me what time it is. I like the fact that the weather shows up there. I like that the Google Maps shows right up on the screen. You can pick what you want to show up on the right side, the co-pilot side, and what's in front of you. I've got in big font the speed I'm going. So right now, 0, full stop. Tells me the speed limit, 50 kilometers an hour. Gives me a camera to both the right and the left side. And unlike GM and Cadillac, it's actually showing it safely where I should be looking. Not over down here, but right where my eyes should be, dead ahead and just slightly below, because the positioning of this 48-inch screen is perfect. It's gonna increase safety. You're not looking all over the place for your cameras, and it works both sides. The left camera is on the left, slightly to the left of your steering wheel at an appropriate height, right in that screen. The right camera for the right rear view mirror, the passenger rear view mirror, right where you should be looking. So it doesn't take your eyes and have you focus in areas that takes your attention away from the road. I really like that. You turn your blinker on and you get the camera on the side. So that's really there to help you avoid hitting someone who's in your blind spot. There is a blind spot on this, obviously, a vehicle this big, but if you adjust the mirrors just right, you're really not going to have any issues, especially considering that we've got that camera right there. Very impressive stuff. Seat, extremely comfortable. Now, of course, you can have active motion in the seat. You can also have the digital sense, so you can have the aroma, the forest or sea aroma. Many scents to choose from. I believe Ford Lincoln gives you 2 or 3. Let's go up the hill here. Just part of the process of getting gas into this vehicle. Nice acceleration sound. Now you hear the engine. You can drive around and never hear the engine, or you give it just a little bit. You don't have to put it to the floor. You just put it in about an inch or two and you start to hear that engine. It's not just raspy exhaust notes like you would get out of the Mercedes AMG line or BMWs. BMWs aren't just going for raspy noises. I had one go by on the front road here and it was hundreds of feet away and it was still coughing and spatting. It sounded like a vehicle that had no muffler at that point, because every time they let off the accelerator, it was going peck, hey, ho. It was look at me, new money styling, for the sound. It was new money, look at me, I've got money now. It wasn't old money sound. It wasn't a classy exhaust. This accelerates with class and comfort. You hear the engine. I'm getting a bit of a massage right now. Very nice. Moving the blood around, keep you awake, keep you focused. Especially when it starts to push up on your posterior. I don't think that's going to be putting anyone to sleep. You're like, oh, something's pressing up on my posterior. Hello. Where are you going with that? But it goes nowhere that it shouldn't. Take it through here. Big old turn. Woo! And just beautifully smooth. Smooth acceleration. With the Cadillac Escalade, when I gave it the beans, you could sort of feel it. Well, you couldn't sort of. You felt it underneath your feet. The motor and the transmission, a little bit of vibration. You felt the rawness of the V8. Here, you don't feel any of that. It's smooth, comfortable, classy acceleration with just a little twist from the engine. I have a feeling they pipe some of that sound back in, is a feeling I get, because it can go from dead silent, really Bentley Continental levels of silence, to, hey, I've got some engine here. And it's fun that the noise comes from up front, because it's engine noise, not just loud screaming, burbling, coughing, popping rear exhaust noise. And again, in a parking lot, and I gotta say, I love parking this. I want one of these. For me, it wouldn't have to be the black label, but I really like the black label. I don't know if I could say no, spend this kind of money and not walk away with all the special wood, the special stitching. Got to put it in park. If you don't put it in park, safety feature, it's going to put itself in park when you try to turn off the vehicle. The touch on the drawers, fantastic. This is very well done. The seat, one of the most comfortable seats, if not the, I gotta say, this is the most comfortable seat that I've been in ever. Not just because it's a big vehicle. It's not as if it's because it's a big seat. It's not like an excessively huge, lazy boy. This is the most comfort I've had in a seat because it's just perfectly placed and you can find your perfect position. I just wish these started at a lower price. Same thing for the Expedition. My only critique is it costs a lot to have a big family these days. But maybe this is going to be your executive vehicle. Instead of getting a Continental and being driven around in a Continental, a Bentley, or a Rolls Royce, the seats back there are incredibly comfortable. Why not get driven around in one of these? Fantastic vehicle for getting chauffeured around in. Turn it off, seat pulls back, steering wheel goes up. I've got all the space in the world to get out. Symphonic orchestra noises for all the various chimes and bells and whistles. Roof, finally, roof like you have on the Porsche 911s and, high-end European vehicles. You have a roof that feels like it's all suede. I'm wearing suede shoes right now. Let's compare. Softness level, suede in my shoes. Just a little softer than this, but this definitely looks and feels like suede. The leather, very high-end leather. I believe Lincoln's still using the same leather as that Rolls-Royce was using, and that's Bridge of Weir leather. It's from a tannery in the north of UK. It's a very extremely high-end leather. For automobiles, it's considered really in the top of leathers. Even the inlays of the doors, inlays, not just the top and the bottom that you touch, but even in between. It's feeling like it's feeling like either a decent leather or an extremely convincing plastic, but it definitely looks like leather. The top definitely looks like leather. The seats, well, the seats can't be beaten. On the surfaces you can touch, that is some of the highest quality leather that you'll find in any vehicle on the market, whether you're spending 150,000 Canadian or 500,000 Canadian. The wood, this is extremely well finished. I do recommend it. Enjoy. I hope you've been enjoying this. Drop comments what you think. Help the channel out. Help us grow. The bigger the community, the more you hit thumbs up on the videos, the bigger the community gets. With bigger community comes more knowledge, and we all know with more knowledge comes more power. So that's the point here. We want more power, folks. So please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and drop your comments what you think of this vehicle. Maybe drop even what you currently drive. Are you watching this video because you're dreaming or because you're shopping? Let me know in the comments. But all the electric features like automatic wipers, automatic high beams and low beams, cruise control, adaptive cruise control, accident avoidance, lane centering, which the lane centering, we've tried it on so many of the Ford and Lincoln products. It's fantastic now. It just does little micro adjustments. You don't even notice that it's the vehicle making those minor adjustments. If you have your thumb on the steering wheel, you'll ask yourself, was I making those adjustments or was it the vehicle? It is very, very well done. The technology at Ford is top. No, it won't drive you from door to door the way a Tesla will, but once you're on the highway and you're using that essentially self-driving system, it works better. It's been rated by many as being better than the Tesla system, but the Tesla system does more. So a little trade-off there. But if you're looking at a 7 or 8 passenger vehicle, you got to test drive one of these out. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right, driving through town with traffic around. Nice pickup. Excellent over the bumps. Very smooth, very comfortable. Big, but doesn't feel big when you're driving it around. The size isn't intimidating or doesn't cause fear, at least not for me, because the turning radius and the turn-in is so good, so very good. Steering wheel, it's not problematic that it's not a full circle. You can still drive with your hand over the middle and still get some movement out. It's just different. I got to get used to it. At first sight, it's not what I find the most, dare I say, it's not the most attractive steering wheel,
The look of it, the finish, is beautiful. The leather, the stitching, beautiful. It's just the shape. I'm just not used to the shape. Now let's see for backing up here. Put in reverse. Very nice. I've got the camera up there. I'll show that. Got the camera right there. Got the sensors here. And if someone's walking back there, you'll see just fine. You got the white lines to show you where you're gonna go based on how you've turned the steering wheel. And nice and easy to maneuver into position. So that's a win. Let's see in regards to the sensor. So big vehicle, not a problem parking despite its size. Sensor's good. Just have to put it in park, shut it down. Steering wheel moves up, seat goes back. Super comfortable. It's been a great ride. Godspeed, everyone. I wish you all more cars and more power. Hope you get to put the pedal to the metal on a car that you love sometime real soon.